Are you by yourself, Eric?
Me and the first applicant are here.
I'm sorry, you and the first applicant?
Kelby.
Yep,
Kelby's here.
Oh, Kelby's there?
Kelby.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hi, Kel.
Hello.
me and all my friends.
How many applications are on the agenda tonight?
Just you.
Oh, cool.
You and we have some other business.
Yes. Thank you very much.
For some reason, I'm getting
Hi,
sound.
Val.
Hey there.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Val.
Evening.
Hi, Jamie. How are you? This is a lonely place to be.
Well, it's just me and Val here last month.
Yeah. All right, good evening. Welcome to the October 13th Newmarket Planning Board. We'll start by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First on the agenda is public comments. There's nobody here in the audience at Town Hall. Is there anybody online that would like to speak? Hearing none, I will close the public comment period at 7:01. Next is review and approval of the minutes of our September 15th meeting. Is there a motion? Oh, you know what? Excuse me. Before we get going, I should go through the list, see who's online and who isn't. I apologize. If you're there, please say you're there, and also if you have anybody in the room with you. Val Shelton,
Present and no one in the room with me.
Jamie Bruton is here. Sarah Finch,
Present and alone.
Jane Ford,
Present and alone.
Bill Doucette,
Present, nobody in the room.
Mikhail Zahorik. Mikhail? No Mikhail? Ted Seeley. No Ted either. Okay. So first on the agenda is the minutes of September 15th. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of September 15th. Bill Doucette.
Is there a second?
I'll second. This is Sarah Finch.
Is there any discussion, any comments, any editorial changes to the minutes?
Eric? It's
Go-
Val.
Yes.
Seems to be a whole section of discussion missing, in regards to the ballroom,
Let's see.
you had gone through and asked people's input, and then it started recording I concurred with, I believe, you and Bill.
Oh, correct.
But none of that was recorded.
Ooh. Okay. Yes, seeing, wow. We should probably then table this and,
Mr.
Ask-
Chairman,
yes.
Susan said that she got halfway through her regular program that she uses for the minutes, and then all of a sudden it stopped for whatever reason. And so she recorded the rest online. So it could very well be that part of the earlier discussion was missing from her version and didn't get recorded properly. So we can talk with Sue and see if there's something else that should have been included. So I would suggest we table, I
Yes.
think, Val, going in that direction.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
Can Tim just confirm that the whole Zoom meeting was actually recorded?
He said, yes, it was. So we should have a full recording of the meeting.
And Sue said she didn't have any problem with the version on channel 13, but she did have problems with her tape, so or her system that she uses for minute taking. So maybe that's why there was a glitch there.
Okay. Maybe she'll have to look at the channel 13 thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that would be more complete, I would think.
Yep.
At this
Yep.
point.
Okay.
You have to do that.
Okay. So I guess, is there this item?
So moved?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded here by Jamie. Any discussion? Okay, I'll have to do a roll call. Val Shelton,
Aye.
Jamie Bruton,
Aye.
Sarah Finch,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Bill Doucette,
Aye.
and Eric Bodman. I vote aye also. So the motion passes to table that unanimously. Thank you. All right, first on the regular business agenda is,
Excuse me.
Oh.
Do we need to read that statement about electronic meetings?
No.
Okay.
Kelby for Werda, public hearing for subdivision at 2 and 4 Beach Road Extension, tax map U2, lot 108 in the R3 zone. The proposal is to convert the existing apartment units into condominiums. So first, we would have to, if we see it as that, accept the application as complete. I believe Diane Hardy has recommended we accept the application as complete. Does
That
anybody
is
have any
correct.
questions about the application themselves? Diane, do you want to walk us through that?
Other than, you mean the recommendations?
Okay,
The application is complete. I had a couple of questions, and Mr. Chagnon, who is here this evening, got in touch with me right away and clarified a few items. So the application is ready for a technical review, Mr. Chairman, if you'd like to call for a motion on that.
okay. Is there a motion to accept the application as complete?
Val Shelton, so moved.
Is there a second?
Bill Doucette, second.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, now we will open up the hearing for the actual application itself. Is Mr. Shagnon online?
Eric?
Yes.
Eric, you need to vote on that motion.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm out of it here. All right, so the motion was made to accept the application as complete. Val Shelton,
Aye.
Jamie Bruton,
Aye.
Sarah Finch,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Bill Doucette.
Aye.
I, Eric Bodman, vote in favor. Aye also. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Val. Now, does the applicant have a representative online?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, John Shagnon from Ambit Engineering, representing Word of the applicant.
Great. Do you want to just walk us through the application real quickly?
Sure. Is it okay if I share a screen?
Sure.
So the application before you tonight is a condominium conversion at 24 Beach Street Extension. Tax map U2 Lot 108. It's a duplex. Each side, it's a side-by-side duplex. Each side has its own driveway and water service connection and leach field. Also, there's decks that are for each unit. The plan set consists of the condominium site plan, which shows the location of the units on the lot, the limited common areas, which in this case are the side yards from the street to the back of the building. There's a common area between the two driveways, and the two driveways are limited common to the units they serve, and the rear of the lot is all common area. All the monuments are in. There's a full boundary survey and notation as required by the condominium statute. We have submitted floor plans. As I said, this is a side duplex. So unit A is on the left, basement, first floor, second floor, unit B on the right, and they pretty much mirror each other. The unit areas are exactly the same. We also submitted for the record the approved septic system plans. So DES has approved the septics and they are installed. The installation was about a year ago, year and a half. So at this point, the applicant would like to convert to condominium. He's come before the board for your approval of that process. If there's any other questions, I'd be glad to answer them, but we ask that you approve this application.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shagnon. Any board members have any questions? I can't see if anybody's... If you have any questions, please speak up, because I really can't see the screen too well. None? Mr. Shagnon, I have just one comment. As far as I'm concerned, one of the conditions on the approval is that the first sheet of the plans, the condominium plans, show the units as 2-bedroom units, but I believe they're actually 3-bedroom units. So if you
Good
just make
catch.
a notation to amend that.
Yep, absolutely.
If there's no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I do have a recommendation
Yep.
that the plans and the application be approved as submitted, with one condition, that the legal documents, the condominium documents, be reviewed by town council, the cost of which be passed on to the developer. And I believe Mr. Chagnon is aware of that. And
Yeah, the applicant is okay with that condition.
okay, and so with that, I would recommend approval of the application package.
Okay, is there a motion to that effect?
Go ahead, Val.
Val Shelton, I'll make a motion to approve the application, subject to attorney review of the condominium documents.
Okay, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll take a roll call. Val Shelton,
Aye.
Jamie Bruton,
Aye.
Sarah Finch,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Bill Doucette,
Aye.
and Eric Bodeman votes aye also. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, new and old business is
Thank you.
work session on final draft of the water resource plan and implementation matrix and scheduling of a public hearing for November 10th. Has everybody had a chance to review the latest edition of the master of the water resources chapter. Val,
Yes?
are you looking to talk?
No, sorry.
Oh, your screen lit up. That's why it's like Hollywood Squares here. Your squares are lighting up.
I'm just trying to get the document up.
I have mine up. I thought I did. The matrix of Valerie.
I'm actually trying to load the chapter.
Yeah, I thought I just did it, and I guess the chapter.
Diane, why
No.
why Val's
Hang on.
doing that, trying to get the chapter up for herself? Is there did anybody comment on this? Any board members or anybody else comment on this?
Yeah, we had a great meeting, virtual meeting, Mr. Chairman, with Kyle Pimentel, and Mikal joined us. Mikal and Val had offered to assist with us, and we were able to go through the whole matrix, and we started to fill it out. And there are some changes that we made to the original. And we did send it out for review one more time by the subcommittee who was working on this, the Stormwater Subcommittee or the Water Resource Subcommittee. And we did have one comment back from Bill Archeri, who's on the committee. He had some recommendations on how we might better organize the matrix so it's easier to read and consolidate some of the categories and clarify what the different ratings are for low, medium, and high priority in the various timeframes. And they were all really good recommendations. I think Val, you said you were in agreement with them and the changes. Kyle today, and he said he would be able to have it for us in time for the public hearing posting, which would be for the November meeting if the board is so inclined to set up the public hearing on it this evening.
Okay. Val, I know you're instrumental on this committee. Are you all set with this package, with knowing that Kyle's going to make sounds like he's going to make some minor revisions to the implementation matrix? I'm okay with putting it on the November 10th agenda for a public hearing.
I'm okay as well. I just think there's some more housekeeping edits that he didn't get in.
Okay.
And certainly with updating it with Bill's, Archeri's recommendations.
Okay.
I would like to get it out for public comment. Personally, I still think the chapter is extremely long. I think that Kyle and Diane have done a good job of trying to get rid of redundancy, but we're just trying to address an awful lot of subjects under one chapter.
Go ahead,
There
Diane.
was I'm sorry, could you?
Oh, no, go ahead, Diane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that a couple of questions did come up at our hearing, our work session via Zoom. And one of them was whether or not the climate change, one of the recommendations would be that there would be a climate change chapter in the master plan. And the question we had was whether that should be a separate entity unto itself, its own chapter, or whether it should be incorporated into the entire master plan and put in and synthesized in the appropriate place, so we have an integrated package. So I think, Val, you had wanted to put that question out to the full planning board for their discussion at the work session this evening, so.
Correct. So just to comment on that, what Diane is saying is under the matrix item 23 action items, would be to develop a climate adaptation chapter, like adding a whole separate chapter. But then the discussion was, why would we have a separate chapter when the topic needs to be integrated into many different chapters, this just being one of them? So I was leaning more towards that if there are climate change issues, that they would be addressed in any chapter in the master plan that may have that may have implications of, whether it's housing or economic development, as opposed to just having a separate chapter on climate adaptation.
I agree with that, Val. I think it should be integrated in all the chapters. But what does everybody else? Jane, what's your take on that?
It makes sense to have a joint attack plan and do it all together. Totally makes sense.
Mr. Doucette, thoughts?
I agree. Incorporate it.
Sarah Finch?
Yep, I agree. Sounds like a good approach.
Jamie?
Yep, I can follow that logic.
Okay, and I agree with that also. I think that'd be a good approach to have it integrated in each chapter. But I certainly, I mean, unless I hear some people on the board say it's not ready, I believe this document is certainly ready to go out for public comment. So I think that's the appropriate thing to do, is put it on the November 10th agenda and start hearing what the public has to say. Anybody have any issues with that?
Mr. Chairman, there was one other issue discussed that should be included in here, and I know we want to try to make it shorter. But when we first started this, drought wasn't really an issue, and here we are well into the project, 18 months into it, and we find ourselves in a drought situation. So with all justice to that subject, we thought we should add at least a paragraph, maybe some recommendations, and Kyle and I had volunteered to talk with Sean Gregg about what form that might take, but I think we should not overlook that subject, because that's an important aspect of water resource management.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? If I don't hear any, all right, Diane, we'll just put this on the agenda. We don't need to vote on this, right? We can just put it on the agenda.
Just that we want to set up the public hearing, I think, and then we can go
Yep.
forward and make sure we get it in the paper on time and follow all the legal requirements
Yep.
for the master plan adoption of that.
So we'll see the document that's going to be posted for the meeting, what, 2 weeks or so, a week before the meeting?
Yeah, Kyle said that, we probably should have it on the town's website when it actually hits the newspaper. And I think the notice is maybe 15 days, but we'll make sure that we have it available when it is actually advertised for the public hearing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you all for that. Chairman's report. My only report is that it's kind of quiet here at the town hall. I have nothing. Committee reports, any committees, any committee assignments people have to report on? None?
Oh,
Go ahead.
at the appropriate time, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
Okay, next is the planner's report. And under that, she does say that, don't forget, we have a joint meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. with the town council.
Yes. And we did receive a letter from the Office of Strategic Initiatives regarding the FEMA maps. We did get the new maps and the hydraulic studies. And I have a set of plans in the planning office if anyone cares to come in and look at them. What I did find out is that the Office of Strategic Initiatives, they are having some workshops, and I'm planning on attending one on Thursday. But we do have to have everything into them 2 weeks before the actual enactment date for the map. So that puts us mid-January. So this is something that will have to go to the town council. So I would like to put something together, at least for a first cut, as to what we need to make modifications on for the next meeting, so we can get started with that process, because the time is running short on this at this point, believe it or not. We've only waited 5 years for the maps, but they only gave us 6 months to adopt them. So
Okay.
anyway, so I'll have a report on that for the meeting in November.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I just ask Diane a question on that?
Sure.
So the official adoption of the maps, are you referring to just updating the floodplain ordinance so that it references the correct maps?
That's one of the things. There may be other things too that we need to do. I mean, we have talked in our water resource committee meetings about possibly revamping the ordinance and maybe adopting some stricter standards. I
That's
think,
what I was asking.
given, the time frame that we have, I think we might want to do it in a phased approach, make sure that we get the maps adopted and that we're covered, so none of our residents lose the ability to get flood insurance by the deadline. And that maybe we might take a longer look at it, look at it in the spring and come in with another adoption in the fall or next summer. I just don't want to miss the deadline because it's a critical one for the town.
Sure.
Thank you.
That makes sense. All right. If nobody has anything else they would like to add, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I got a real quick question.
Go ahead, Bill.
Can somebody remind me why we're having individual septic systems on Beach Street Extension?
They made a request to have their own septic systems and the water and sewer department approved it. I don't know the exact reason, but normally if it's within a certain distance of the, sewer line, then they're usually required to tie in. That's something that maybe I could get some clarification from Sean Gregg for you, if you would like me to.
It's just a curiosity. I find it surprising in middle of downtown Newmarket, you have a new individual septic system instead of a new municipal tie-in.
Yeah.
Is it a way to avoid the tie-in fee?
No, that's could be the case. I don't know what the,
It's gotta be
we're not
cheaper
involved
than
in those
septic system.
discussions with Sean. And it's really, the connection fee, something that administratively he does at his level. So we just want to make sure that any fees that are paid before the building permits are issued.
I think just to comment, the cost to and Eric, you can comment better, but the cost to install a septic system versus a tie-in fee would be excessive. I think didn't this come up on their other building?
Yeah, my recollection
Yeah,
on their
both
other
of them
building.
are.
Yeah, my
on
recollection on the other
septic
building was that they didn't want to do it because of ledge. There was a lot of ledge out front in the roadway, they thought, which would be a problem trying to tie in.
And there certainly is a lot of ledge on that lot.
Yep.
It was
yeah.
a lot of ledge on that lot.
That's a good question by Bill, though, is
Yeah.
it's good to know. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion was made by Jamie Bruton. Is there a second?
Second,
Motion is seconded by Val. Oh, I've got to go through my checklist. Val Shelton,
aye.
Jamie Bruton,
Aye.
Sarah Finch,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Bill Doucette.
Aye.
Bodman, aye. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you all. We'll see you all next month.
Thank you.
Take
Or
care.
tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow. That's right.
Right.